Hi, it's Leo from Made by Marley. I'm a furniture artist, and today we're going to be discussing commissions. Commissions, do you do them? Don't you do them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? I am going to run you through this gargantuan challenge that I had with this very large commission piece. Okay, so this is the piece what we're going to be doing today. Today is all about commissions. Whether they strike you with fear or you're actually, this is your bread and butter, doesn't matter what way it is, commissions are always quite tricky. This commission today won't be so much of a tutorial. It'll be, I quite like when I filmed the Annie Sloan because it's kind of going to be an awful lot of detail. This is my customer's piece of furniture. Now, currently the top is upside down because it's got that piece of wood at the top. It won't sit flush. So the top has been cleaned and it's upside down. This is how it currently looks. Two big cupboards, and I think it's got shelves.
It has.
2 shelves in the inside. They'll be coming out in a minute. This is the other piece at the bottom. So it's your sort of really old, I reckon probably, if I was to date this, 120, probably about 120 years old. This is an old one. Maybe not, because then I look at the handles and think I've done things about 100 years old with the same handle. So hard to tell, but it's an old piece, customer's own piece. It's got some parts of wood that are here, but they're currently, they've already been clamped and glued, but there's another piece that Martin's currently gluing, which kind of separate the top from the bottom. Nice handles. I will be painting the handles. Controversial, I know, but I won't be doing anything with the glass. I just spoke to the customer and I said, does she want reverse decoupage or anything? But she wasn't really quite sure about that. So we decided, so that because the glass is so far up and she might want to display things, the glass is being left alone. What is the sort of basis of what she wants? Okay, so there's quite a lot of things to get into this. She wants woodland, leaves, vines, flowers, foxes and badgers, but she wants them young, not old. She doesn't want pointy faces. That's quite important to her. She wants a witch in it. She wants a moon. It's just going to involve kind of a folk arty style. And I'm just going to be hand painting this whole thing. But before I can hand paint this piece needs to be thoroughly cleaned, both pieces, and it needs to be painted. What colour am I going to be using? Her two main sort of colours that she really wants or really likes is a teal green and a hot pink. So we will get to all the hot pink elements, but let's just mix up this tealy green first. So this is Florence. Now you've got to remember this has got the odd squeeziness of the Florence, so that wasn't me, right? Okay. Oh, now
that was
now I'm adding Frida Blue to my Florence. Now Frida Blue is heavily pigmented, so I wouldn't go crazy about that. And what I'm also going to add, just because I can and it makes me feel good, I'm going to add in some of Annie Sloan's Capability Green, which is this bougie green. Yeah, it's a really nice green. It's the green I used for, remember I did the cabinet with the eye, and the inside of that, it was black on the outside and the interior was green. It was this green. So I know I could actually sell Annie Sloan paint tin openers, but right now at this precise moment I can't find any, so we're just doing it this. And I'm going to pop a bit of this in it as well. It might lighten it up too much doing that, but I just thought I would have a go at it and see how it goes. I'll sort that out in a minute, and let's just have a wee, I have got some navy on standby if we do need to darken it down. So let's just have a look and see. I need enough for 2 pieces, and in theory, I'd quite like enough to be able to double coat, but you don't need too much for your second coat because you're going to be applying that with a mister. Now, tealy green. What are we thinking? I think my tealy green slightly brighter. Just so brighten up, you could probably add a little bit yellow. I don't have yellow over here, so let's just put a little bit more of the Florence by itself. Just a little bit of this to brighten it up. Just a shade, just a little bit.
Yellow if you want, maybe.
No, it's fine, Matt. And I'm actually quite pleased with the colour. And when we say that's pretty tealy green, would you say that's tealy green, Martin? So there we go. This is the tealy green colour that I'm going to be using. Likey so. Set that on top of there. Ooh. That's the colour we're going to be doing it. It will be, next time you see it, it will have had its 2 coats of colour and it will be completely dry. So I'm going to be leaving this for a few days once it's been done. As I said, I'm going over the handles. Still needs its proper clean. The top has been cleaned. Martin hoovered it and it's all been cleaned. But I just need to, came straight out of the woman's house and she said it had been cleaned. And if she watches the video, she might think I'm rude if I say I'm cleaning it again, but I just want to make sure. Remember, cleaning is really important. If you've got any marks, grease, anything on your furniture, just with your hands, because your hands contain grease. So round about things like handles and stuff, you still need to give it a clean. It has been painted before with, it feels to me like it's been painted with chalk paint previously, and I think it's been top coat sealed. It's not been waxed. There's no, if you're ever worrying about whether something has been waxed or not, if you run your nail up it like that and you've got stuff left on your nail, that's generally a good indicator that it's been waxed. If you do have wax in a piece and you want to repaint it, if you just wipe it with some steel wool and some mineral spirits, you can give it a wee sand after that if you really want to, but the mineral spirits and the steel wool will take the wax off anyway. Right, okay, so that's all I'm going to do. Next time you're going to see it, it's going to be tealy green, and then there's going to be a whole load of mental gymnastics while I try and work out where all of these elements are going to go. One of the main things that my client said was she wanted her furniture to be a little bit like Where's Wally. She wants to have elements in it that people don't instantly see, but on staring at it for a length of time, they find the little elements. So there's a whole load of that going on as well. So we'll talk more about commissions as we go, whether what's it all about, what does it entail, should you do them, shouldn't you do them. I think I've discussed in a previous video, I don't take commissions very, very, very rarely, unless they've bought from me previously. It's just that this woman really wanted me to go and look at a piece of furniture to do it. And when I got there, I liked what she was saying. I liked the thought of it, and I thought this could be interesting enough for me to do. Sometimes commissions can grow arms and legs. You know, the customer will say X, but then this expectation, and we will talk about this later down the road. It's all about expectations, commissions, your expectation of what you're capable of, the customer's expectation, what they think you're capable of. So there's a whole load of expectations, and it doesn't matter whether you've done commissions for forever. You still have a funny feeling in your stomach when you go to show your customer what you've done. It doesn't matter. I just don't think anybody's always 100% sure whether the customer's going to like it or not. So commissions, that's what we're going to be talking about today, but I'm going to get on and do this. Okay, so where are we at? We'll be coming back to the part downstairs because what I'll be doing is putting all the detail in with Posca. So we'll come back to that. I've put my dark bluey green right at the bottom strip and then a turquoise. The same turquoise, same Florence that's gone round here. I put the turquoise here, round this band, and at the top I've got the blue with the turquoise. Now around here it's going to be gold. Possibly around here is going to be gold. Around here is going to be gold. And there's going to be a gold rim down here at the bottom. But these are all things that are going to happen as we go. Now, I kind of changed the design because I thought it was a bit, I wanted the witch to be isolated, almost like this is this part, but the witch was somewhere else. So I put the witch on top of here. And what I did was I did a sort of cloudy bluey blend, and I'll put maybe some more dark sort of colours on here. And I've done the witch sitting down in here so it fits in here nicely. So now I'm about to play around with the moon. So I'm just going to get a decent sized brush here. I'm not going to watch all of this because obviously I'll get marked, but cameras out.
You're not going to watch them do anything.
Oh, I mean, you're not going to have to, yeah. No, you're not going to be doing it, but I probably am going to be doing it. Well, I am doing it, not probably. Oh, he's thrown me already. He's just come out.
Sorry.
So I need to kind of deal with all the details in the witchy part. So this is going to be, and I'll play around with this until I get the moon looking the way I want it to look, because I want a little bit of brown in it as well, if I'm honest. Sort of, maybe not as much as that. But I'm going to be painting this moon and getting it looking good. And once I've done the moon, what I'm going to do is along here, I want it sort of kind of have some sort of perspective. So I'm thinking, and we're going to put a little bit of blue here, like this. And then I'm going to dip in my green here. So like sort of hilly sort of parts. And obviously I'm going to be playing with these off camera. I mean, I'm not going to leave it looking like this. There's going to be all different shades and things in here. But it's coming to give the illusion that these are sort of hills in the background. And then I'm going to do trees meeting up to the moon, if you know what I mean. So let's just do something like that. I'm going to bring this up as well, I think. I don't mind this blue behind it because it matches the furniture. So let's kind of keep it all in context if I can. There has been a huge amount of hand painting to this piece. It's just massive. Then I'm going to get a fan brush, and I thought I would do something like a bit of Bob Ross, you know, like happy little trees and all that sort of jazz. And I thought I would do something up here. Make these a little bit darker, and just do a sort of kind of foresty thing coming from here. I will play around with this off camera, but it's just to give you an idea. And then maybe here and do something like Bob's fan brush was obviously a little bit better than mine. My trees look like they're about to expire.
It's subjective, isn't it? You know,
well, this is very subjective, but you'll see me do it when I put the camera on. I think I wonder whether if I hold this a little bit closer. No, that's not working either. But maybe it's gonna come good. So I'm gonna put trees along here, do something in here, finish off the moon, and then darken this up a little bit and maybe put some stars on here for this part. And this part here is going to be gold. Now up the top, I have drawn out ivy. You probably can't see it, but it trails all the way down to here.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah, when the ivy, because I was going to have to try and fix put a witch and everything in this, I thought what I'll do is I'll then start putting branches coming up and sort of around and over here that meet up both in the middle, and I'll cover those in berries and flowers. It's so involved down here that I don't think when do you stop? Where do you stop in this? And I've done the sides as well. I don't know if Martin can, is there any way, Martin, you could just give them a wee a close up on what's happening on the side. I kept those quite simple as well. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to get Martin to put the cameras up while we fix the Bob Ross trees, which right. So I'll do that, and then we'll do another bit of fast forwarding. I'm sorry, this is the kind of video that's continually being fast forwarded, but there's no way that, I mean, this has taken me, I'm already on my 5th day, actually more than that when you think of undercoat. We're over a week of me doing this, and you couldn't put this in a video. I'm trying to give you this sort of tips on commissions and things like that, and we'll talk a little bit more commissions next time I come back round again. Once I've got the leaves done, Martin's going to put cameras up the top, so you'll see me doing working my way down, doing all of that, and you'll see me doing these trees. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to quickly recap. It's just that we've had a bit of a problem recently with a corrupt card when we're recording, and I think we're unclear at this point in stage because there's so much to this, you know, whether I really got the point home. So if I'm repeating myself, I'll get Martin to cut this out, but if I'm not, then, you know, maybe you'll get something fresh from it the second time. So commissions, I've said this before, make sure that both parties are clear and understand what each other's sort of roles are. Your client needs to make sure that they give you plenty of inspiration. Get them to have a look on your website. If you don't have a website, get them to look through your social media for pieces that you've already painted. That really helps you understand what parts of your work they like and what they don't like. That's quite important. So that's what they need to do. What is your role in discussing it with the client? You need to set expectations. Now, I don't want to say too much about this commission because the lovely lady's waiting for it and everything, but I will not make my money on this. And I think this is the first time I will not, but it's just that there is so much to do on it, and the goalposts kind of changed here and there. And then I think that, it doesn't matter for me because our business will absorb it, and it will be fine because it's a swings and roundabouts thing for me. I've got lots of different things. I've discussed before the income streams. If you want to try and make furniture out of business work, you need other income streams, and we have those in the form of channel membership, decoupage paper, furniture sales. Where else do we get our money from? I've forgotten, but we've got a lot of different channels that all surround furniture. So it doesn't matter too much for us. That will be absorbed. However, if this is a commission,
revenues from our videos,
ad revenues from you watching our YouTube videos, which is tiny. So please watch and watch the adverts. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, if this was you and you're wanting to start a furniture business and you are thinking about taking commissions, please, please, please. I was distracted before Christmas. This piece did not look the size it looked in the person's house at all. It really didn't. It was, and I mean, this studio is huge with high ceilings. And as soon as it was put together here, I went, to be honest with you, I thought it was about this height. I really didn't think it was that big. So, yeah. It's just one of those things that I'm happy to put my hand up and go, I was wrong. And that's okay, because I don't believe that the customer should pay for your mistakes. So never put it onto the customer. Don't get frustrated with your customer. Just forge on and learn from it. And as I always say, ask me how I know. I know because I've done these things. And this is the first time I've done this one. And I've always quoted correctly. So, and now this is another reason why I don't particularly enjoy or do commissions, because this is a beautiful piece. And I really do think that this now is one of my most favourite things I've ever painted. It's an absolute stunner if you stand back over there and look at it. But the work has gone on and on and on and on and on, and I'm still nothing like finished. And that's us fast forwarding, all the pieces. I was talking to my friend the other day, and she said she wondered whether people on YouTube watching a YouTube video thought that the hour and a half that they were watching was that the furniture, that was how long it took to paint the furniture. And I said, I never really thought about that. And she said, they don't realise it takes days and days and days. You have to work on lots of different things to make it work. But this one has been quite a while. So that's that. We're talking about commissions, expectations. We're talking about deposits. We haven't just discussed deposits yet. Would you take a deposit? If you're starting out and this is you're just getting going, I would take a deposit. Just in case. And then you've got your deposit. If it all falls through, it's non-refundable. They don't get their deposit back. Do I take deposits? No. I do not take deposits because generally I have repeat customers who I know that are going to pay me. If I do not know the person, I've never met them before, I try and get a report. I kind of quite easily can measure somebody on where I'm at and what they want to pay and things. So yeah, but I would suggest you take deposits. You don't want to be stung for your materials. You start going and everything, and then they don't want it.
Hours of work.
Yeah, they don't want it. Now, what you can do, you can turn that around, finish it and sell it. Fair dues. That's no problem. If it's their piece of furniture, well, that becomes a bit of a problem because you have to agree to begin with. If you don't proceed with this, then, I'll have done all the work on it. I'll have increased its value, and I'll give you a nominal fee for what I bought it, for what it would cost me to buy, and just part ways. It's uncomfortable. I wouldn't imagine I would like to do that. I don't like confrontation at all. So I would probably just suck it up, or give it back and just not say too much about it.
Lots of reasons why you generally don't do them.
Yeah, all lots of reasons. And I'm not trying to put you off, because what I do think the bonus points in commissions and commission work is you've got to think about it like this. And I've said this so many times. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but it is important if you're starting out. If you don't have any space, then you need to run a commission, a custom built business, because you don't have the storage to store all the pieces. I'm in a different position where I've got loads of storage and I can keep storing them, and it doesn't matter. There's no pressure on me to make sure it sells the next day or things like that. But if you've not got a lot of storage, then that's the way to go. Also, as well, if you hit upon somebody who if you have painted a piece of furniture and it's very popular on Facebook Marketplace, there's your measure that your market can afford more or something similar, or thereabouts. Don't paint the same thing, because that's not unique then, but of a sort of vibe. Then, if you can keep, painting and selling, then that's a little bit of everything. And customers, always treat your customers like they are the most amazing thing in the world. You have to be firm and you have to be honest, but they are always right. And so you don't want to have bad feeling. Remember that customer may talk to somebody else. Your business reputation is everything. How you run your business is so important. I mean, I just don't quibble with people, and Martin and I have an agreement, if, we're prepared to go, okay, that was us, even if we know it wasn't, because it's not worth it. And plus, you want to get on with your day feeling good about yourself. You don't want to go away going, well, that was awful. I didn't like that. They made me feel like X, Y, and Z. So that's that. So I think really I've discussed enough about commissions. I'm hoping that we didn't lose the piece of footage, and I'm not just repeating myself on and on and on and on and go. But you get the gist of what I'm talking about. Now let's talk about the piece. All the fast forwarded pieces that were filmed the other day, you saw me putting the gold on. How did I do the gold? I did the gold with gold mica powder and some, I'll just show you because they're sitting down here, just so you know what I did. I literally just got Liquitex, gloss medium and gold mica. There it is there. Now, this was a little bit too gold for me. I didn't want it to look too manufactured. So what I tend to do, if your gold's a little bit, add a little bit of silver. And I have this pewter mica powder here. Show you there. That's how it looks. Adding a little bit of that into your gold makes it look less manufactured, and it's worth playing around with it to get a gold, especially for all of this gold. Why this, not gold leaf? Well, to be honest with you, there was no funds left for the gold leaf. This is just as impressive. It's less messy and I can do it quicker. So there's you got to go with the, right, what am I going to do? And that's one of the things that I was going to do. So the gold leaf has been done. The gold at the top, now there's a few touch-ups with the gold. You can see I've got a dark area up the top that I need to fill in and paint back in.
Up there, yeah.
Yeah, it needs fixed. I have literally just came out and did the ivy around here. Yeah, my glass still needs cleaned.
Come over and have a look.
It's still wet, so I've just done this here. Yeah. You saw me do this yesterday on camera. I'm just about to quickly start painting this here, and I'm going to show you some of that, and we'll stick together for some of that. Down here is done, and we'll be revisiting this with the Poscas. I saw it in the fast forward stuff. I just got a sponge and rubbed some of the mica gold over it. The gold's been done at the bottom. The sides have both been done. We are nearly there, apart from any little gold touch-ups that need, where I've kind of touched up and made like kind of some little edges there. I can see, all the little parts. Now, what am I going to do about sealing? The temperatures have risen in Scotland. So thank goodness. Although it's still wrapped up, but it is definitely warmer. It's up above freezing now, and tomorrow and the next day is going to be 11 degrees. That's okay. 11 degrees with the heaters on here with a top coat sealer, and I'll be using my friend Chic Tough top coat sealer, wherever she may be. She's somewhere around here. But you know which sealer I mean, the one I always use, but when it comes to sealing, I'll show you. And I'll be coming out early in the morning, putting on my heaters, getting the room to a temperature that I feel is acceptable, and I will be sealing it. Why? Because this piece is too big of a beast to carry in sections into my house. It's going to have to be sealed out here. So I'm glad that the temperatures have risen. I've said this so many times, if it's below freezing, do not touch anything with wax or sealer. If you run a furniture business, what I would do is wrap it in a blanket and cling wrap it, keep it good, put a note in your drawer saying needs sealed, and when it comes to selling, take it back into your house where you know the temperature is going to be ambient, the same temperature all day, seal it then. That's what I would do if you're working in cold temperatures like I am. But as I say, the temperatures have risen in Scotland, and they're due to be about the same for
the whole of the next week.
For the whole next week, and I want to get this to the customer in the next 4 days, 4 days-ish. It will be done by then, but I just want to, I have to hire a van now. Another thing as well, I think we maybe touched on this, but when it was brought to us, Martin did 2 trips because the women's local, but the pieces were just kind of put in. We've only got a small van now, put in diagonally.
As I saw it, I knew it wouldn't fit in my. I couldn't get both bits in the van.
Yeah, so he did 2 trips.
So.
But he also did 2 trips with it diagonally in the van. And now with all this finish in it, it can't go back into a van like that. So we're going to have to hire a van to take it. It'll be a morning hire, which is fine, but we're going to have to take it in 2 parts to the customer, and it will need my son and Martin to take it. So that's another thing. Now, this is all okay, really, because remember, most of my stuff is shipped down to London and things like that. So they're always shipped to England, and I've got shipping costs anyway. So I won't have the huge shipping costs. So I will come out with something. More than the cost of hiring a van. So yeah, I mean, I will come out with something, but it won't be. You would think for this, I mean, I'm not just not going to tell you what I quoted, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Going to put it on the Gone and Not Forgotten so that other people who want to have a sort of a little bit of inspo and look at my work and have had a commission before and do want something like this, they can see it. But I'll be putting it on at the price that I think is acceptable, not the price I quoted. So let's just get on. I'll just quickly show a bit of this, just so, because I feel like you've not had much entertainment in this video because it's been so much kind of go.
It's just one of those videos, isn't it?
It is one of those videos, and it's one of those ones that there's no way I could have videoed it. It's the process is too long.
It would be a 10-hour video.
Yeah, and the hours don't fit.
And that still wouldn't just,
No, it's way more than 10 hours.
Yeah.
But I think as well, like, how I feel about it is, now I'm not trying to get both sides the same, but I do want sort of kind of, and first of all, when you're going to do any sort of tree branches, you just generally sort of map out your tree first. You don't need to worry about painting it. Just map it out. Map out your tree where you think it's going to suit your sort of, this is what I do. I like to map it out, and then that way I've got an idea of where it's going. And let's just do something here. And I want it to come, well, this bud comes right over. So let's do something like that. Now you need to think of trunks. So trunks, let's just put our base coat, which is just the hornflower bough itself, which is just the chocolatey brown, into this recess here, because we have to think about things like that. I might do a branch coming up like that because it looks a little bit contrived right now. Now, this part can happen quite quickly. It's just all the shading and everything that takes a bit of time. Now, you can also see as well, I'm being a bit cheeky on this door. I've done so much that I now am able to hand paint in my design because without drawing it, because I know how it's going to go. But if you are in any way struggling with anything like this, just keep drawing it in until you're comfortable. Remember, thick. So it's thinner here, but it gets thicker to here. You can do all your, oh, I can see I've had a wee drip there, so we'll just do that. Now it's time to kind of thicken everything up. How would this go? I think it would go kind of a little bit like this, a bit gnarly here. And you just kind of, you can make the branches up by yourself. I mean, there's not a, it's a little bit kind of, yeah. And bring this one to here. And I think I can already see I'm wanting something to come here. And let's give that something here. Let's just thicken that up. So branches are pretty, I want a really thick part here. Let's do something like that around there and do something here. Let's have something coming down here. Now, once you've got your rough, because you've got to, if you look at the one on the other side, there's many multiple layers of paint that has gone in, and tones and dark shades and light shades and everything that you need to make up a branch. But before you can start anyway, you really need to start somewhere, and that's at your base layers. So once you've got your sort of base layers where you think you might want them, and I'm quite happy with that actually, it's not offensive, so something like that, then you want to start kind of working with your greens. Now, I have so many little bits of paint that is taken to paint this piece everywhere right now. They're sitting all over the studio.
The heat gun.
The heat gun? No, I don't need the heat gun for this part, but thank you for the offer.
Okay.
Kindly so, yeah. I'm sorry there's been not much Marty and Lyle entertainment in this either, because the thing is, you've got to think about it as well. I mean, I maybe want to paint, but Martin's maybe not always available to film. So, you know, it's been kind of, my friend came and poor thing, I made her. She was queen of the camera, and she was doing the kind of close-ups with the, you know, the ones that film, not the ones that Martin do, the other ones. So she was doing that. But I mean, it's a terrible thing when your friend comes to visit and you make her sit in a cold shed
Put her to work
all weekend. Felt really guilty. You
she
know who
enjoyed
you
herself.
are. All right. So literally now is just building it all up, building up your sort of design, having plenty of nice foliage and movement. There's plenty of scope at this point in time where you don't have to be, you can be a little bit, you know, like kind of really loose and Picasso-like. Somebody said in a comment I answered just earlier, which was something like, it's just, your style is just really free. And I'm like, well, I think that you get more out of your painting if you're not worrying about how perfect it looks. I think you get more out of what you're doing. And I think that it's more fun. Whereas I used to be it had to be perfect and it had to be this. And now I don't think about it. I really don't. I just think, well, this is what I like. Now put some of these lighter leaves here. Get something lighter here. And you're just going to build up all of your leaves. I'm not going to make poor Martin stand here for hours while I do all of this, or you guys endure all of this. But my, you know, once you've seen it fast forwarded, I think what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and I'll get these branches to where I want them to be. Then I'll ask Martin to come back out and we'll film me putting some flowers on it, and I'll show you me putting some shade in and things like that. And then that way, you know, you've got a kind of good idea of what it was all about. Remember, leaves go in front of branches. You can't, you know, this is all exposed right now, but if there was, say, another branch coming from here, you could put it going from the other side. Remember how it'll all look. And I'm just using a nice big flat brush for this right now because I want to paint the dark colours. I've got some lighters with my green here as well, but I want to paint my colours on so that I'm just putting my bases on first, like I showed you right at the very beginning with the base colours, and coming back and then just adjusting them as you go. It just makes it a little bit more interesting. I want one here. So I'm going to go, because you don't want to, I'm scared that this is the most boring video. I think I really want something coming here, but you've got to remember as well, leaves cannot come from a trunk unless there's a little. So I'll go and I'll fiddle around with this a little bit more and I'll get it to look similar to this. Then we'll come back and we'll put the flowers on, berries along here, and then I've just got the ivy to come down here, and then I've got the glass to clean, little things like this to fix where it's been bumped, and some of the touch-ups where the gold leaf has I've been a little bit wobbly with my brush. Then I'll get Martin to come back one last time. I'll get my Poscas out. I'll start filling detail onto the piece, like legs on the birds, eye on the fox, eye on the badger, some little details here and there. And then that'll be me for today. And tomorrow we'll get to ceiling. Now, I need to go back up and show you the flowers on that door because that's where I left off yesterday. But I needed to kill some time before Martin was here to film. So I've already put some detail in here with Poscas. Now, the idea isn't to saturate it and line it as such. It's just to give it a little bit of detail. So I've kind of like put a stem down there in the dark. I've went around these flowers, put a bit more detail on my badger, a little bit around the squirrel, filled in my acorns, you know, that kind of thing. So just sort of here and here. So for example, some kind of quite far down, but we'll see. Martin,
is the most difficult one.
Well, I didn't think you'd want me to do this.
It's all right, I'll come over there.
Is that okay? Okay, so I was trying to think of you there.
Oh, can you?
So what am I doing? I'm just kind of, you've got to remember when you've not got liner on things that from a distance, things can look a little bit washed away. So things like this just start to bring a little bit of shape into the flowers. And it means that from a distance, they're kind of, they've got a little bit more depth around like this. And this centre just had, and I did this with paint on most of them, but this circles in the middle, right? So, and I mean, you've just seen me do this one, but let's just kind of try and, it's awkward when it's furniture because you've got all the ins and outs, but it's just, I always think it looks a little bit more like it's detailed. I mean, you can see the difference on this one here, for example. This is all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to give it a little bit of exciting depth.
Sorry, I fell off a stool.
Oh dear, that's like my mum's friend. My mum's friend fell off his computer chair and now he can't walk and he can't take it to church. She's quite upset about it all. So yeah, anyway, that was a side story there. So a wee bit round here. Fox, let's just give him a little bit of a highlight in his eye. Now remember, one of the sort of stipulations of this commission was she didn't want pointy faces on the animals. And it's kind of hard to do a fox without a pointy face, but she didn't want pointy faces on the fox and she didn't want a pointy face on the badger. Hence the reason why I'm a little bit like, well, I think you can tell it's a fox, but I think I would have been happier if the nose had been a wee bit out here and a little bit more pointy, but it's just that's just the way it is, okay? So I'll do some stuff up here, Martin, and then it saves you being the contortionist right now. So legs and feet, what we got for these birds up here. I'm really looking for a black. So let's just kind of, I'm being kind of bold now. I think when I'm using Poscas, I want kind of scribbly. That's its back. 1, 2. This isn't the best pen. It's not actually Posca. Let me see if I can get a black Posca. It would be so much easier if I could. Can't find one. What's this? Try this. Oh yeah, there you go. And I want a little bit thicker. That's the thing about legs. Yeah, a little bit thicker at the top. That one's going to go behind there. Now I'm going to have to put, obviously, some more branch in here. This one here is slightly easier to kind of cope with because it's the angle of the sort of foot. Sorry, Matty, I've left all the hardest bits to film.
That's all right.
Something like that for that. And I'll fill I could maybe be able to do this with a Posca so that I don't have to paint out this Posca here, but I've never used this brown one. So I'm going to put some liners on here. It's bottom half is pretty much done now. Just want to get this Posca to work. Up the top, I'll come back up there one last time and show you that. And the last thing I'm going to do, well, second last thing is, I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now. In a minute, I'm actually going to seal this piece because it's a good temperature out here for sealing. Now, I've just put some Poscas on there, and if you're ever worried about them running, I would put up a little bit of your heat tool, just run it over the top anywhere where you've got any Poscas, let that cure off a bit. I'm going to start up the top and I'm going to work my way down. Now, the inside cabinet at the top still needs a second coat of paint, but I'm going to seal, I'm going to be bold and seal the outside first because I'm scared that the temperature drops. That was a whole load of effort just to get this working. I hope it's the same sort of colour that I'm looking for. Yeah, it is. So I can just do something like that in amongst the feet like that. Where was the other ones? Here. Oh, quite like that colour on there. Yeah, there you go. Let's put some detail on here with this. Yeah, I mean, now I've done some here, I better do some over here now. And down here. Maybe some in amongst the leaves. But yeah, I think you get what I'm trying to do. I'm not overly doing it. It's just, you know, bits and pieces. Let's find my white again, and we'll do some details along here when I find it. I'm probably sitting on it. Which one? No, but it'll do. I just want to put some somehow these have got missed. And I'm kind of doing this sort of scratchy, sort of detailed. I think what needs to have a little bit of a highlighting. Oh, don't over highlight them. That's fine. I think I'm happy with that. A little bit of look of,
Don't mumble.
Don't mumble. I'm mumbling because I'm concentrating.
I know.
I'm kind of really over this now. I'm more over it than you can possibly believe. But I think the next time you see this,
God knows what she's doing next, and she can't wait to get to it.
well, it's not so much that. It's just that I think this now has became.
You're nearly there.
I'm nearly there. I'll do the rest of this here. Down here, and then we'll come up and I'll paint some of these flowers, and then just talking about sealing because people always ask me. It's my French Chic Tough Top Coat, and it's going to need 2 coats of this, yeah, and you just literally pour it into a container, get a dish sponge, drop it in, and sweep all over it. That's what I'm going to do next. Yeah, so next time you see this will be sealed. The inside of the cupboard will be painted pink, and we'll get to talking about this. Okay. So I've been dreaming of going, so it's finished. It is finally finished after many hours. I even went back and I thought that this door looked not so nice, so I put gold round the inside of the edges of the doors as well, just because I could. And I thought I'd got this far invested in it, and I thought, why not? Now, what did we do? It's all a whole load of hand painting. It was base coated first, and it was base coated in one of the colours that the client had asked for, which was a tealy green. She wanted lots of greens on it and a turquoise. And she also liked hot pink. So the original brief was foxes, woodlands. Seemed okay. That was fine. Quoted the price. Then it went to witches and things like a Where's Wally piece of furniture, and there was things everywhere, and it kind of grew arms and legs. Now, how could I have prevented that? I could have grown a set and went, well, you know, you're going to have to give me a little bit more money. Or I just decided to suck it up. It was a commission that I wanted to do. Have I enjoyed doing it? Yeah. I mean, I've been kind of moaning near the end because saying to Martin, because I've been doing it on and off now for quite some time. Now, all my normal work carries on throughout this, so it's not solidly at this, but a lot of my time has been taken up with it. What do I like about it? It's a beautiful piece of furniture to begin with. Let's talk about all its positives. It is a beautiful piece of furniture. It's old. It's now going to be an heirloom in the customer's house for her to enjoy and pass down to our children and our great grandchildren. So that's, something. Is there things I don't like about it? No, I don't like. I like all of it. I like the gold that I made with the mica. I think that really kind of, when you see it against the pink background inside the cupboard. Now, let's talk shelves and what I did. It's a little bit weird, this, but one shelf was screwed in hang on, I'll just move this bird. This shelf here, this one was screwed in. I couldn't remove it, so I painted it pink. I had intended to paint the other one pink, but that is a beautiful piece of wood up there. It is so lovely and in great condition. And I just didn't have the heart to paint over that. I mean, I decided to keep it as was because you don't actually see this cupboard down the bottom being pink. So I thought, that's okay. We've still got our nod to original wood. And sometimes it's nice to do that. This was what I was saying to you about the doors. I painted the doors and then I didn't like, because it's old glass and it's had all the different, I've then went round it with gold just to try and make it look a little bit tidier. I put tape in there and straightened off my edges, all the little finishes that the customer wants. It has been not sealed, it's been sealed twice today with my French Chic Tough Top Coat Sealer in the way that I described with a sponge. I've sealed on top of the gold as well. It's all been sealed. It's been sealed in the same temperature. The temperature has not gone up and down in this room all day. It is now thoroughly dry, which means that, and I know it's not going to go below 0 degrees tonight. So when I leave tonight, I can switch off the radiators knowing that when I get up tomorrow, this isn't going to be a white milky mess. And you'll know if you've sealed something in temperatures that are too low because it will look milky. So that's it. It's done. It's going to its new owner on Thursday. Martin and one of my sons, I don't know which one, has the unlucky job. Charlie and Martin are going to take it to the owner. That's really it. I'm sorry the video is so long. You can imagine there's an awful lot to do to this and an awful lot of hand painting. And I managed to get the witch to where I wanted the witch as well. I just didn't feel like wanting to put the witch on the front when it was very woodlandy and I couldn't quite make it work. But I think the witch up on the top with the moon and everything is a nice nod to what she wanted. Apart from that, it's all good. I'll get Matt to do a whiz round with the camera at the end and you can see that I've done the sides as well. So, you know, it's a good piece. We'll put it in Gone But Not Forgotten on our website if you want to go and have a look at, if you're not on my socials, you can go and have a wee look at it. That's it. Martin, do you have anything to add about commissions or the piece or anything?
Well, I love the piece. I think it's absolutely outstanding. In terms of commissions, we were talking about this earlier about somebody who's never had a piece of furniture commissioned before. They don't speak your language, so
yeah,
it's them describing what they want. Yeah. It's different. It's very challenging. You might want to continue that bit.
Yeah, Martin's right. I mean, that's why I've been saying throughout about expectations. You know what your capabilities are. Stick within your capabilities. If the customer's leading it down a route, say, I can't do that, or I'm not comfortable with that. I tell you what I've been kind of struggling with in my head since I started this. The animals had to have round faces. They couldn't have pointy faces. Now, one of the sort of recognisable elements of a fox is it has quite a pointy nose, and I just felt if this had been me, I would have taken the nose out way further and it would have been more recognisable as a fox. Same with the badger. I would have had more of a pointy nose on my badger as well. I
think they work.
I think they're fine, yeah. But I think it initially kind of bothered me. But it was, I think, in the customer's mind, she didn't want it to be too harsh, and she is right, and I hope she loves it. She was a lovely lady. She really was, and I really liked what she was saying about furniture, and she'd been on my website and everything, and so I thought, I want to do this for her. So I hope she's thrilled at the end of the day. Anyway, I've been let off from me by Marley. If you've liked this video, give us a like, give us a share, give us a thumbs up, leave us a lovely comment, and please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be back next week doing whatever the hell I want to do. Which doesn't involve foxes or witches.
Bye-bye.
Bye.